But yeah, it was a big Netflix week for me. JoJo, little piece, little leave. Gotta get use out of that extremely expensive subscription that I pay for year-round despite never really using it somehow, right? This is the elevator, right? Yeah. You dinosaur doc? Oh, I would love to watch a nice little documentary.
Welcome. How can I help you?
I need a vial of toad oil for some medicine.
Pulling an all-nighter, eh? Well, good luck with that, sir.
Huh?
All that shade slaying must be tough. I bet you use this stuff all
What's
the
up,
time.
Timo? How are you?
I have no idea what's happening.
We're just buying some
Whatever.
toad oil from this
Let's just get
toad
this
oil
back to the
salesman.
No sense in you waiting around. I'll send you a letter once it's ready.
That would be great.
By the way, what can I help you with?
Nameless blade. Nameless blade. What big sword are we using? The Beast Lord? Let's level that up. New way they implemented ads. Would have forced me off the app? Oh, that's crazy. How have they implemented them? I probably have noticed I've been using the app a lot. I watch a lot of mobile YouTube. Maybe I haven't updated lately.
Come back soon.
Oh, you know what? I did see that today. That's not even on just mobile. I was seeing that in my browser. I thought it was a little annotation thing. That's ugly and hateful. What's this one? This is the brothers. Each day, the king would select one of his subjects to execute as a sacrifice. This day, he chopped off a mother's head and forced her family to watch. Oh, cool. The head spun 3 times as it flew through the air before landing next to the head of her son, who the king had previously killed. Oh, the horror of it all. But the king watched the sight unfold before him and laughed in the most unsettling voice. Why can't it just be like, level 1, there was a happy household, and everybody was laughing, and then level 2, they all got a big pizza and played video games, and it was fun. The end. How come? Why not? Oh, Tamales, you're talking about the ads? For a second, I thought you were talking about the king beheading people. I think I've seen that. Okay, yeah, level 3. And yep. Yeah, that's going to be like the Yona bat. And it's just one of those plastic T-ball bats. Like a wiffle ball bat. Would I be surprised if you've seen a few beheadings? Not when you ask it like that, no. When you ask it like that, I'm like, no, he probably has. Playing wiffle ball. Yeah, I think actually, genuinely, this field right here, if there were no shades, we were out here playing baseball all the time, I think. A little bit of wiffle ball for Yoni. Oh, if her asthma wasn't acting up. Oh no. That made me sad to just think about. Even if there were no shades. Even if there were no shades, if she runs around too much, her asthma. I just want her to be happy. Pow, 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 pow. They made him kill people. What did I miss here? Kid who told you the playground lies, moved into your second grade class, then moved again. Serial liar. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Could I know? We had a kid in kindergarten who was very annoying. I didn't like him very much. And his bit at recess for some time, maybe not often, definitely for like a short bit though. His bit at recess was that he was a werewolf. And he'd go around like clawing people. He'd go around and like claw you. Be like, dude, cut that out. Like, no, it wasn't funny. He would chase everyone around. We were like, oh, we're just trying to play a little ball. And the werewolf would show up. We'd be like, ah, it's the werewolf. Come on. He left after kindergarten. He wasn't around for long. You know where I met him again, though? Driving school. And thankfully he didn't recognize me, but I recognized him. Where did they take him? Yeah, I recognize me and my best friend went to driving school together, and he was in that class. Oh my god, these plants that I planted 5 years ago do nothing. We definitely planted these pre-time skip. I'm leaving it. We definitely both recognized him. We were like, oh man, that's that kid. That's the werewolf. Kids are crazy. That might be another recess story. And, they're just taking their time. And this one makes me sad. But, do you ever, like... Kids are mean, right? Like, we all agree on that? Kids are mean? Before I tell the story, we all agree that kids are mean, right? You ever, like, feel regret about the mean things you did as a kid, or that you took part in, or that, like, maybe you were just, like, a complicit witness to? Sometimes that kind of stuff, like, wakes me up at night. It's not anything super serious, but I just remembered now talking about that werewolf story another time. There was this girl in our class, and... well, the whole way through, like, my whole time through elementary and school. But, like, back in kindergarten and, like, first grade and all that, she was a big crybaby. She was definitely, she was, like, at risk of crying, like, well into, like, middle school. That was, like, her thing. Like, we were always like, uh-oh, she's gonna cry. But, back in kindergarten or first grade or something specifically, she loved Pooh Bear, I recall. And she had a little Winnie the Pooh that she would bring with her. And I remember one time at recess, this is making me want to cry thinking about it. If I could go back. She had her little Pooh Bear that she loved. And it wasn't me. I just watched this happen. But somebody, like, took her little Pooh Bear, and it was, like, rainy and dirty out. And they, like, threw it down in, like, the little, like, pit where, like, all the dirty leaves would collect and stuff. And that makes me sad to think about. And she was able to go get it, but like, that's so mean. He was all dirty and ruined. Band director was mean and yelled at me. Dang. What else? Going back up for a sec. Told your friend that you made one of the cutscenes. One where he runs into the rocket. That's really funny. That's such an absurd story to spin. Yeah, it was pretty mean. Like, I don't know. Why were we bully? Like, why were we so mean? It's kindergarten. Of course she's gonna have a little stuffed animal. Everybody still loved stuffed animals back then. But, I don't know. She was an easy target, I guess. I guess that was the logic. You gotta be a big, tough guy. Did I even talk to Popolo? I didn't. Another one that I thought of, and this one... This is one that I have genuine regret for. There was this girl that transferred into our class in, like, the 4th grade, I think. It was, like, late into 4th grade. And she was definitely with us through 5th grade. I think after that she left. And I think she left because of, like, just... I'm gonna say, like, bullying, to be honest. I'll just be honest about it. I don't think she was made to feel very welcome in our class. Because she was perceived as weird. And to be fair, I think she did do a few things that were a little weird, such as, she used to eat, she used to carry around, like, salad spritzers. You know, salad spritzers? You know those? She used to, like, just, like, take a of those every now and then. That's one thing I really remember about her. She used to just, like, eat salad dressing every now and then off of one of those spritzers. Which was just, like, one of those things where we were like, okay. But it was, like, one of those classic things where, like...
You've had quite the rough trip.
I don't know, a kid transfers into this class of people who've known each other, and unfortunately there's friction. And she never really finds her friends or whatever. And I don't know what it was. We were evil. We all just like complicitly like agreed to be mean to her or whatever. I don't know. I feel very regretful about that one. But one memory I have of her was we used to, when someone's birthday came up or something, usually they'd bring in like cookies or cupcakes or something, and you know, everybody would get a cookie or a cupcake or whatever. Or maybe for like holiday parties we would do that too, like Valentine's Day or like near Christmas or Thanksgiving, stuff like that. And I remember, this one hurts. Why am I spilling this? I remember this one party, whatever. She had volunteered to make muffins or something. And so the day of the party comes and she brings in the muffins and she's going around to every desk to offer muffins. And nobody's taking the muffins. No one was taking the muffins. And I remember hearing her go, huh, I guess no one wants muffins. And that I can hear it in my head today, and that keeps me up at night. That one keeps me up at night. I still hear it. Kids are mean. It was genuinely like, it was like fear of being seen with her, kind of. That's the vibe I got. It wasn't even like that anybody was being like too directly mean to her, but because everybody was like, oh, like we don't want to hang out with her. It was like if you hung out with her, like you were also like weird or whatever. Kids are mean.
That poor ferryman used to tell me stories of the epic quarrels he had with his wife. He found the whole thing quite amusing.
Yeah.
He loved her though. He loved her with all that he was. I'm very sad
Isaac.
to hear that he's gone. Still, you made it back safe, and I'm glad for that.
And he loved the color red. I guess that's why he always came by here so much.
Have you any new information about the key to the Shadow Lord's castle?
I'm still working on the decryption, but I'm afraid progress has stalled. Loyal Cerberus might refer to a dog, but I've never seen anything that would fit the bill.
Neither have I, have we?
It must be pretty complicated if even you
Oh, there's
can't
only
decode
so
it.
many locations.
Well,
It's gotta be the
you're our
desert,
last
right?
hopes.
Did we get one in the desert yet?
Please keep trying, okay?
I will. By the way, I was walking by your house earlier
Aha.
and I noticed you had some mail. You might want to check it out.
Thanks. I'll do that.
I don't have many other memories
Oh,
of that
one
girl.
last thing.
Any other specific ones? I do remember, I think I told this story before. In the 4th grade, we were all asked to, like, I forget why. It was like positive reinforcement or something. We were all asked to, like, compliment each other. I forget what the context of this was. Everybody was complimenting each other, like, in front of the class for something. And she had to compliment me, however this came about, and her compliment to me was that I was handsome. Which in the 4th grade got a lot of, like, oohs, and I was like, no. Give it 2 or 3 years and it would have been like, hell yeah. But in the 4th grade, dude, no. That's the last thing you want to hear from a girl.
Since the ferryman was missing work, I arranged for someone else to handle the job.
Yeah, I told that one before, but that was also that same girl. That's all I don't have many other specific memories of her, though. Just that we were mean to her. I don't know. Feel bad. I definitely did see her, like, later in life. When I was in high school, and she seemed to be doing all right. So, but sometimes I think about her, and I'm like, I hope she's, like, doing good. I hope she found her people.
I'll make sure they know to let you use the boat as before.
Gotcha.
Is Rich and successful now? Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Even without those we have lost, the world relentlessly continues to turn.
I also, like, I'm pretty certain her, like, home life wasn't great. I'm making this so depressing. I got the vibe that it wasn't. Even as, like, a kid. I'm just saying. That's why it sits with me. That's why it sticks with me. I'm pretty sure it was just her mom, and her grandma or something. I was like, oh, something happened. Why is he doing this on constant Smee night? It's everyone post Smeedness right now, quick! Smeedness Toho! Smeedness Toho! Words! Smeedness Toho! What the heck is this? The King of Facade has chosen to enter into the ceremony of matrimony? Hey guys, it's me, the King of Facade. Sorry this is all formal and stuff. Listen, I'm getting married and I really want you to come. So get over here.
The king is getting married. It does this old book good to see a boy become a man.
No, yeah, I thought this would have been the end of the junk heap.
Probably not a good idea to turn down a wedding invitation from a king. Let's go to Facade.
Also, that same year with that girl, we also ruined someone else's life. Our teacher that year was the... No, this one's funny. I promise. Trust. Trust. Trust where it's going. So our teacher that year was a nun. A notorious nun at our school. Yeah, we can do some questing. We're telling stories. It's fun to tell stories. Our teacher was the nun at the school. Me when Kid Zebra walks up. Listen, I was just complicit. I wasn't the guy who did it. I was just complicit, that's all. Our teacher was this nun. And she was the last nun at the school. Actually, give me 1 sec before I start this. All right, I got to go ahead. I can definitely tell this story. So there's this nun. She was the last nun at our school. And of course, she had quite the reputation, as I'm sure you can guess, as most nun teachers are. She was very strict. And she was not very well liked by most of the kids. Did I ask God for permission?
Only our harvests weren't so poorly.
And so, you know, fifth grade was like a rite of passage at the school, where once you got past that, A, you were officially a middle schooler, but also B, you were past the hardest teacher, kind of like you were past the final boss. And we start our year with her, and I think we, you know, got through the first. You wouldn't have called it a semester back then, but you know, you got through to winter, you got through to Christmas. And then I think sometime when we got back from winter break or something, I think she came down with pneumonia or something. And so she was out for a while, like weeks, months maybe. She was out for a long time. We didn't know if she was gonna make it. I swear this is a good story. Like, we didn't know if she was gonna make it, man. Like, and so we had a sub for quite a while. And this sub was the husband of our music teacher at the time. So like we didn't know him, but we felt like we were like, yeah, like, you know, he's married to one of our teachers. Like, we kind of know this guy. Whatever. Nepo baby substitute teacher. I don't know why that concept is so funny. Nepotism to be a substitute teacher.
Oh there. Popola told me about you.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh.
Just tell me where you're going, and I'll take you there.
Oh, the new ferryman. And so this teacher, we're gonna call him, oh, I don't know. Let's call him, like, we'll call him Mr. O'Grady. We'll call him Mr. O'Grady. Hello, new boatman. Do you enjoy any cartoon or anime characters? Yeah, I like Garfield. Alright. Was that his name? Maybe. His name was not Mr. O'Grady. But, like, let's pretend his name was Mr. O'Grady. Now, Mr. O'Grady was spineless and weak. Say what? Mr. O'Grady? Mr. O'Grady. That? Or did you want me to say Garfield? Like A2. Mr. O'Grady. Okay. No problem. Love it. Love an Ato. You can do an Ato check at any time. Mr. O'Grady was weak and spineless and moldable. And he certainly wasn't cut out to be a substitute teacher for a bunch of 5th graders. We made that guy's life we made his life miserable, I think. We were so obnoxious, and I don't really know why. But I think the fact that, like, we didn't have to deal with, like, the teacher with, like, the worst reputation for, like, half of our 5th grade year, like, we got to skip her, basically. I think we were riding a high or something. But the big thing I remember from our time with Mr. O'Grady was the Great Eraser Wars, where all the guys in class, and probably some of the girls, but definitely like all the guys, were drafted for the Eraser Wars, where it's exactly what it sounds like. We would take our little erasers, break a little piece off of them, and just chuck them at each other. We were just chucking erasers across the room for like weeks. It was like weeks on end. We would go to lunch, and on the way back from lunch, we'd be like heading back to the Eraser Wars, and I'd be like, yeah. The floor was a mess. Sometimes we'd throw them at the chalkboard, and Mr. O'Grady would like be like, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Dude writing on the chalkboard. Who threw that? Mr. O'Grady, you weakling. Know your place. There were also pen guns. Did you guys ever build a pen gun? I don't think that was in the 5th grade. I think that was a middle school thing. I think the pen guns were middle school. There was definitely an arms race. You guys make pen guns? Pen guns were controversial. Pen guns were genuine danger, kind of. Pen guns were where you would take like a mechanical pen, like open it up and like reverse the spring. I don't know how kids figured out how to do this. This must have been like a trend, like started from one kid and spread to like the world or something. You would like reverse the spring mechanism, reseal the pen, and when you would click the pen, it would shoot the pen. Like, it would shoot out. It was pretty cool. The teachers would turn their back, and someone all of a sudden would like turn around and like point a pen at you, and it was like, no. And it was over, dude. It just pulled a pen trigger on you. It was like Sis Ace Attorney in there. Functioning potato cannon? That's crazy. Zelda spinners off the Gatorade caps. What were those? Spiky Gatorade caps. What were they? Did you have to like make them spiky? What do you mean by that? I think what other gadgets we created. I mean, everybody had like finger football, right? But I feel like that was a funny one. I think playing like finger football, like with your boy, was fun. Like where like you had the little paper football, but like your boy is the goal, like over at another desk, like across the room or something. That's when that got fun. Took the other part off the neck that the cap screwed onto, turn it inside out. Oh, that sounds crazy. Paper ninja stars? Yeah, there was always that one kid. I remember starting, what was it? There was something I did. This is how you know I was like cartoon brained. I remember being inspired by Ed, Edd and Eddy to make a quick buck off of my classmates. And I forget what it was, but I was selling something. Not drugs. It was some like paper craft. I forget what it was though. It didn't last very long. It was like a week. But I definitely was like, yo, 25 cents and you can do this. And like some people bought it, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. I remember bringing something in though and like having something in my desk to like put together if people bought it. We were starting businesses back then. That's the chunk heap. We did that. Duct tape wallet. I think we might have had those. This is facade. This is facade. I'm not doing that one. We got the mask. Cool. Child's final chance. Do we go to the Forest of Myth right now? Am I gonna have to read? Oh, we could go to the. We could do this.
Oh, there.
Man, all the stories I can think of from like middle school, the vibes are so off. You don't know when you're there. When you get older, you're like, yeah, that is when we were all like emotionally like crazy. That is when we were growing up and like confused. There was so much drama over like stupid kid things. I look back on it like fondly enough. I'm just thinking of like the stuff that's like story worthy is all like at someone's expense or something. Like I had many like dark times where I was like, it's like where you start realizing that like the people that you grew up with, it's like, oh, well, like none of us are gonna be friends forever. Like we're just friends by circumstance in a lot of cases. It's where you start like seeing that. We see the glass break. Like, oh, we're just like, we've just been together because we go to school together. But like, I actually don't like a lot of you people. But I would say that, like, overall, like, we all pretty much got along, except for that one girl, but she left. I have one friend that I've had since I was a young lad, but that's it. I didn't stay in touch with anyone else. I did go all the way through to college with one other kid. I would never say that he was like ever like a best friend of mine, but we just happened to go to the same elementary, middle school, and then to the same high school, and then to the same college, just by chance. But I don't know. He like disappeared after my freshman year. I don't know where he went. He's just gone. I think he fell out of school. Actually, no. I know exactly what happened. I remember finding out a couple months later. He was in some kind of car accident. I think he was in debt or something, and he had to drop out of school. I don't know. I didn't like get a chance to reach out to him after that because like much time had passed, and I wasn't like super in touch with him. So, what are these stories? This is just a normal story. He just totaled his car. Like, he was fine. But that was a shame because he was always like a friend enough. You know, I like didn't really ever hang out with him, but I like always enjoyed getting to see him, and like I think we were on pretty good terms. But no, I only have one friend that I've kept since like young childhood. Most of my friends are people I met in college. Actually, I didn't retain any friends from high school. I'll tell you that. I had a good time in high school. I didn't make any lifelong friendships in high school, though. I think I ended high school on a really sour note. And I don't know what I blame. Do I blame hormones? I don't know. Do I blame that? Do I blame circumstance? I don't know. But for some reason, towards the end of high school, I got really bummed out about the fact that high school was ending. Not because I wasn't ready for high school to end, but because I was like, man, like, I felt like I had like regrets about how I like spent some of my time. And I remember like the summer post high school and pre-college, I almost reinvented myself, or I almost had to reinvent myself, and like turn myself optimistic. Cause like at the end of high school, I was like, man, like I don't think I'm gonna retain any of these friendships. I don't know if I want to. And so I was like, college better be good, and it was. I remember being a really bummed out, like edgy teen at the end of high school, actually. We all went separate ways, yeah. I like tried to kind of keep contact with like my social media. Because I had my like IRL Twitter, and then I had my online Zebra Twitter. And I actually did not use the latter very much. I was using my IRL one all the time, obviously, to like, you know, be in contact with the people I knew. But social media was so like weird and fake back then. And I remember I kept it a little bit like into college. But for the most part, I just kind of like purged it. So I specifically remember one thing that happened that it's funny to look back on, but it's a little bit pathetic, but I'll share the story. Whatever, what do I have to lose? I remember at the end of high school, there was a girl I liked who I never did anything about it. And I remember at the end of high school, I was already like regretful that I had never done anything or said anything. And what did I like find out? But I found out that she had unfollowed me. And I didn't know why. And I like crashed out over this. I was like, that's it. High school was useless. High school wasn't worth it. I think that was the last straw for that Twitter account where I was like, I don't do anything with this. I'm dropping it. And Zebra was truly born at that moment, I think. That's when I like deleted my... Or like I was like done with that Twitter because it was all like nobody posted back then. People didn't post. It was all just like people trying to make the next funny thing that they like saw on this other meme account. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'll try this like other side of Twitter. And then I became a poster. The guy you all know and love was born then. I don't know, I didn't know how to like regulate my emotions like that back then. It's pretty sad. It wasn't even like a rejection because there was nothing to reject. I was just bummed. I still had a Tumblr at that time. I remember writing a post about it. I remember writing a post about it. The dream was over, yeah. I remember writing a post about being like, yeah, I don't know, man, I'm just feeling down. Like, none of it mattered. I hope college rules. And then I made like a positive boys post where I was like, I'm gonna be better in college. I'm gonna be a better me. And I think I was. I was happy. Well, shoot. Did I get what I needed over here? I killed the shade. What's this?
That's the last of
There
it.
it is.
Now let's get a piece of that tree root.
Great tree root.
This should be enough root. Let's get it back to that guy.
It's a bummer though, because I think I did have a good time in high school. I thought high school was pretty fun. I managed to like, you know, befriend a lot of people, like on that like surface level at least. I didn't have many enemies or anything. I didn't have to deal with a lot of drama. It's just how it ended off that I like kind of blew it, or like ruined, like soured the experience for myself by getting in my own head. Where's the way out? Usually when I have a dream that I'm back in school, it's that I'm back in high school, but usually the people that are there are the people from like middle school or elementary school even, which I think is fascinating. You ever wonder like why XYZ is in a dream? Where's the way out? Yo. It is funny to think about. I do have a, oh god. One sec. I did treasure my signed yearbook. I was such a sentimental little dummy. I treasured all those signatures, and this is kind of cringe, but maybe you'll think it sounded nice, or maybe you'll think it sounded cringe. I wrote little notes to like all of my friends that I like hand delivered to them. Like little personalized goodbye notes at the end of high school. And I remember I remember one of my friends was like touched by it. Like everybody was pretty thankful about it. Nobody thought it was like weird or anything. But I remember one of my friends saying like, I remember hearing him say, he wrote me a note. Dude, he wrote me a note. Like, he looked like he was gonna cry. How do I get out of here? I don't know where I came in from. Do I have to go out the top? Unless you were senior. Oh, that stinks. I mean, we also didn't have them unless we were a senior, but yearbook day was a thing. Like, we'd all go pick up our yearbooks. They, like, made a thing of it. Like, it was kind of, like, facilitated. There was yearbook pickup, and, it was, also an opportunity for you to go around and be like, hey, sign it. And I remember getting a lot of closure out of that with some people. I know, crazy, right? There was definitely like a kid in my class who was like a really good friend of mine freshman year. And then we just kind of stopped talking, just from being in different classes and all that. Like, I didn't really talk to him much. But I remember I went to go like have him sign my yearbook. I forget what he wrote, but it was really nice. But I felt like we got like closure on our friendship, and that's true of like a couple other people too. Like people that I talked to a lot, like 1 year, and then like stopped later into my high school career. I definitely got them to sign my yearbook, and it like felt like I was like, yeah, we were still cool. But I still look at it sometimes. It's strange because like I said, I didn't retain any of the friendships I made necessarily, but I still like value that as like a sentimental object. I got a lot of comments that were like, dude, you're like I definitely I think my humor is how I most made my impression on people. I made a lot of people laugh, and there were a lot of comments that were like, dude, you are actually, like, hilarious. And I was like, hell yeah. In your picnic, we had something like that. How the whole 10-year reunion thing goes next year? Mine should have already happened if there was such a thing. And if there was, this guy didn't hear about it. I wouldn't have wanted to go, probably. I don't think I would have liked going. I'm happy to leave that in the past.
I wonder why the shades are getting so strong.
And whatever happened to that humor?
It seems the shades are continually expanding their forces.
Looks like they'll just keep pushing us humans back, huh?
No, I'll find a way to stop it.
That's the thing, like, when I was in high school, I was imagining, like, the reunion. I was like, man, like, in 10 years, we'll all meet up again and see what jobs we all have, and, like, who we, like, married or whatever, or if we have kids. And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably good on that. Back then, though, I was like, oh, what are we all gonna be like? We don't have that anymore. I don't know, maybe it happened. I should look into that. Or should I? What if I looked into it and all the comments were like, yeah, that's stupid Adam that we didn't invite? Maybe I shouldn't look it up. I probably wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't want to know what everybody is up to. I would probably be disappointed in a lot of them. You know? I'd rather remember them how they were. I get the feeling I would find a lot of things out that I would be like less than happy to find out, probably. Maybe that's a pessimistic thought, but I don't know. I remember election year. That year. When I was in high school. And I remember being like, huh. That was the first time I felt like any sort of like political friction in my life where I was like, wait, you guys are all like voting for that guy? I was like, I thought it like everybody was voting for this guy. I also specifically remember this all plays into what I was saying where like at the end of high school I was just kind of like, I don't know, I had a weird attitude. I was like sad about things for some reason. I've told the weird prom story before. I don't intend to tell that again. But there was another weird graduate party that I went to. Which was not the prom one. It was actually, so I said I stayed in touch. That was during a Pokemon. That is when I told it, yeah. That was during, that was when Steiner happened. That was when Steiner happened. Yeah, there was just a weird prom story. Will I tell it again? You guys want to hear the prom story? Will I tell the prom story? I feel like I'm making myself sound so pathetic, though. I feel like I'm... whatever. What do I have to lose at this point? We all already know. Yeah, you know me now. Alright, so this also ties back to the girl I was talking about, who I liked, who I started really crushing on in my senior year. I had known her the whole way through, but I don't know. I woke up one day and was like, yeah, I think I like her. So I was going to ask her to prom, but I found out that she had a boyfriend, and I was like, shoot. My worldview was crushed. So I ended up asking this other girl to prom, who I didn't really have feelings for. I just kind of wanted to go with someone, and I was like, yeah, she's friendly. I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. But she definitely took me asking... she definitely took me asking her to prom as more, I think. When I was just like, yeah, it just seems like the thing I'm supposed to do. Like, we're all supposed to ask someone, right? Like, we're all supposed to just go to prom with someone, even if we don't have someone, right? That's understood, is it not? But anyway, we went to prom. It sucked. I didn't like it. I was really stewing the whole night, to be honest, because the girl I had a crush on sat at our table. So, so I had to watch that. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I guess I'm just like here for the food.
Man, pushed.
So I went home. Didn't enjoy my time. I didn't even feel like going to like a party or anything afterwards. I was like, what's the point? Prom's not fun. I didn't have any fun at all. They made it all up. And graduation happens and all that. And the girl I asked to prom invites me to her graduation party. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. We're friends. It's brag Joe. It's brag Joe, let me tell you. And I go there, and I go to this party, and I am extremely awkward at this party. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I'm embarrassed like thinking about it. But I just like I didn't know anybody there except for her. I think a couple of my classmates were there, but not ones that I really talked to. And there were like no guys, and I was like, huh, I'm like the only guy here. What's up with that? And then I realized what was happening. And I was like, oh, no, this wasn't, no. It's not like that. And so I looked for any out possible to leave the party. And so I think I did the classic, like, oh yeah, like I have another party I have to get to after this. Yeah, it was like a family graduation party. It was mostly family there. She was like introducing me to like, she like introduced me to her sister and stuff. Her sister who like loved me, she was like, oh, you were her date, right? And I was like, yeah. That's me. And I looked for Annie out. And I think I left the party around like 6 p.m. or something, saying that I had to go to some other party. And all it really was that I like called someone to pick me up and I went home. It was pathetic. It was sad. Great story though. Awful story. Leave it to Zabrag. But that's what happened there. There's probably more detail in there somewhere, but there's probably a little more detail in there somewhere. But that was me, extremely socially awkward, didn't know what I was doing. And I handled it as poorly as possible. There's no way she bought my story about having to go to another party after this that I like had just brought up for the first time ever. Like, what was he thinking? Also, like, she liked you. Why didn't you give her a chance, man? You were already there. Whatever. But another story like, yeah, she asked me over. Boys can only see the mess in front of them. So true. Anyway, related to that, I was telling earlier about how I have one friend that I've retained from like childhood, but I definitely had like back in elementary through middle school. We were a trio. There was a trio. This would be like the episode where like you guys would find a photograph of me with like two other guys and you'd be like, who's the third guy? Like that, there was a third man. We had a little Ed and Eddie thing going on. Back in the day, like straight up. We had like an Ed and Eddie dynamic where I was the double D. Third man was the leader, and my friend that I'm still friends with is the Ed. Not in that, and he's not the Ed at all. He doesn't give off Ed vibes at all. But he was like, he was just like that guy who like we would have do like the stuff kind of. We used to make him eat the appetizer at lunch. It was called the appetizer. And all it was he would always bring like a Lunchables pizza. And we would like be like, yo, put this stuff on it. And we'd like get people to come watch. And he would eat it. we were running like little scams and little shows and stuff because we loved Ed and Eddie. But yeah, I was friends with that other guy all the way through high school. And I think one of the most like sobering like growing up moments for me in high school, like around high school, was like me. No, yeah, I wear that with pride. I was definitely the double D. Like, I think I could have fit the Ed role in a lot of situations, but never the Eddie. One of the most like sobering like growing up moments was me feeling like I was drifting away from that friend and just realizing that we were like growing up kind of differently. And by the end of high school, like I wasn't even sure if we were like friends anymore. And he invited me to his graduation party. And we hung out there. And it truly felt like I was like saying goodbye to him. It made me a little sad. Because I was definitely like, yeah, like we had some good times like and all that. And I just knew that once I left that party that like I would probably, like we probably would never talk again. And we didn't. And I don't know, we just kind of like drifted apart. We didn't have any like interests in common. We had different opinions on things. Just one of those. But that was like a growing up moment. Nothing happened. There wasn't like a fallout or anything. It was just one of those where you realize like, yeah, all right, it's over, I guess. I don't know. Do you have any of those?
Everything seems normal here.
We appear to have hit a dead end.
I knew him since like kindergarten. I remember the moment I befriended him. I was alone at lunch, or I perceived myself as being alone at lunch. I don't know if you could be alone at lunch back then. There were like 4 tables. I didn't know anybody in kindergarten. Because so preschool was like an AM and a PM class. And once you get to kindergarten, like those 2 classes merge. And you become one big class, and that's your class for the rest of the time you're there. So it was like a lot of new kids at once. And for whatever reason, I felt like I couldn't find any of the people I knew, even though there were only like 30 of us. I was like, where are the other 15? They were never anywhere to be found. And I sat down at lunch with this friend, like who I didn't know yet. And I forget how the conversation started, but we bonded over Yu-Gi-Oh! I befriended him through Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was awesome back then. It was new at the time, I think. It must have been. I think the show was just starting. And he used to have so many cards. I would go over to his house. He'd have like stacks of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And he had a gigantic TV, and we played Kingdom Hearts on it. And I was like, is that Mickey Mouse? And he was like, that's Mickey Mouse. And I was like, whoa. Well, I couldn't have said that's Mickey Mouse, because Mickey's at the end of the game. But I remember Traverse Town.
Say, what is that on the ground?
And that game felt like
Funny looking
magic
berries.
back then. I was like, what is this? The graphics were unmatched at the time. I was like, this game's beautiful. Miniatured mouse, and on a gigantic TV. That TV like reached the ceiling. It was like a theater. I don't know, he was rich. He was my rich friend. He always had the coolest toys.
Ah, poisonous ones, I'd wager.
And you could bet if you were going over to his house, his mom was making brownies. Yep.
Well, I'm sure not gonna eat him and find out.
Oh yeah. His house was also the first place I ever had a drink. I recall being in that moment and being like, this is it. I recall being in that moment and being like, oh, this is what they warned me about. And it was just like a shot of Bailey's or something. He like went into like his parents' cabinet for it, and I was like, oh man. This is what all the this is what all the PSAs were about. They didn't tell me it was going to be my best friend. I felt like dirty afterwards. And I never had anything again until like college. Those are the days. Yeah, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! To Bailey's, that was like a 10-year timeline. I definitely didn't take the shot of Bailey's in kindergarten. That was like at some point in high school. This is the same friend that I used to hang out with like in his neighborhood, and we'd play like Manhunt. And he had the neighbor who liked Dragon Ball. Told a couple stories about that, I think.
The strange present, but it made me think. I mean, oh, that reminds me.
I apologize for the gameplay this week. I've been distracted by my own storytelling, but that's okay, I think, right? We didn't do much. Who's the client? Item shop in Seafront. Smee week. Hakane.
You guys solved the mystery yet?
No, we got nothing.
Too bad. Hey, what's with those berries?
What, these? We picked them up over by that huge tree. I thought maybe...
Gimme. I'm starving.
Oh, okay.
Are you mad? Those berries are clearly poisonous. Even one such as you can't hope to...
Damn, these are delicious. Give me more.
Hey, you want a shot of Bailey's? Come on, don't be shy.
Well, in that case, I suppose I should try one.
And that Bailey's was good, guys. That is not like a... You don't want that to be someone's first drink. That's dangerous. If it was like a beer or something, I would have been like, bleh. Sprag! That's what the beer would have done. Trying to work accomplishment and Smee happen is true. What'd you say? Like subject matter expert, right? Dude, I took it was just a shot of Bailey's and I was like, that was creamy. That was good. That was sinful.
Hey, what's wrong? Oh no, don't tell me you ate one of those berries.
I did.
The love of trees, those things are deadly.
Oh man.
Quick, take this antidote before you perish.
Thought I was a goner there.
You an idiot? Didn't you see the lumps? The unusual colors? Only a child would attempt to eat something like that.
A child? Oh crap, I bet that kid ate one of these berries.
Yes, quite possibly. And if the poison is this painful for you, I can only imagine what it would do to a small child.
Hey, Kaine, did you take the antidote?
Don't need it. God, those berries were amazing.
This woman.
The truly amazing thing is that your stomach is fouler than your taste in clothing.
The mics? I don't know if I've ever had a mics.
If you had genitals, I would so chop them off right now.
Wow. Mike's tastes good. Mike's is like a hard lemonade, right? Like a lemonade style drink, or like is it like an iced tea? I've had like twisted tea. Is it like that? Remember the first time I got drunk? That wasn't until like college.
My arms and legs.
I feel great.
Man,
I remember I was insufferable.
cast iron stomach, Kaine.
The huss's internal organs are as filthy as her
I
mouth.
remember we were at a party at a friend's house, and I was insufferable in the moment. It was really funny. I remember I was singing Boogie Wonderland. I came out of the bathroom singing it, and then I played a set of Melee against a guy and like knocked out halfway through the set. I had 4 stocks, like blinked, and I had 1. And I wouldn't shut up. I kept talking. I remember the whole walk home I was apologizing for how annoying I was being. I remember the whole walk home I was like, I'm sorry, man. Thanks for like getting me home safe and putting up with me. I know I'm being really annoying right now, but I can't stop talking. And my buddy was just like, it's cool, dude. It's fine. Boogie Wonderland out the bathroom, and I remember tweeting Boogie Wonderland, bitch, at the same time. Yeah, the mirror is a dangerous thing. And I remember when we got home, me and my boy Yasu, who I think it was also his first time getting drunk, we were basically put to bed by Kevin. He basically put us to bed, and the two of us were just giggling. And I remember Kevin used to say a Kevin thing. Is Kevin present? I doubt it. It'd be funny if he was, though. No, he's not. He used to do this funny thing. Very simple. Very simple Kevinism. You can make him. You don't have to. It's probably funnier to like say, I don't know. He used to do this thing wherever he would like be making a pizza or something. He would go making some pizza with like the red bee. Classic thing around that time, like 2019 humor. There he is. What's up, Kevin? Alright, I'll give him the 30 seconds. Give me a gamer when you're ready. I think we, oh, if I recall correctly, we might have had a trip coming up? I don't know how this would have come up. I'm trying to remember the story now. Well, anyway, Kevin used to do this thing. Yeah, well, I was telling a story that you're in. It was about that time that me and Art got drunk at Ryan's house, and we came home that night and we were a giggly mess, and you had to put up with us. But I specifically remember Art saying you used to make pizza and you'd be like making a pizza. And I remember Art like wouldn't go to bed because he said something like, I can't stop laughing about pizza. He had to be like escorted to bed. Oh, Sis, no. Yeah. He did tweet it out in the middle of the night too. Funny stuff. Dancing everywhere. I'm definitely the type that when I'm a couple drinks in, I'll start telling everybody, I'll tell you. Yeah, I remember being scared because I had been mugged there a few months earlier. Or had that happened before or after? I'd been mugged in that And yeah, I think it would have happened before. So I was definitely like always scared to be over there, kind of, because I don't know, it was the scene of the crime. I was always on edge over there. I'm not playing this game at all. I'm just running back and forth and saving. It's fine. Yeah, we were coming down the hill that night and we were really loud. Just making noise the whole way down that hill. But that was a funny night. We can go to Seafront and turn in this quest. Kevin, were you there for the, Yeah, you would have been. It was at 66 where we got the the late night Cope chicken nuggets. That's also what that reminds me of, even though that was a different time. We got the like 3 a.m. McNuggets. That was the most depressing dinner I've ever eaten. Yeah. No, that was it. That was the same one. We had an order of like a bunch of McNuggets that we ordered. I've told this story, I think. We had a really late night order of like 80 McNuggets or something. Like like too many. It was like we got the 50. Like a bunch of us got the 50. And it just like wasn't coming. And I think the store was like closed or something. And one of our friends was like, give me the phone. We were like, okay. And he called up like Uber support or something, and he went like full Karen on them. He was like, yeah, so how are you gonna like make up for this? Like he was like, you're gonna get us those nuggets? Like McDonald's is open. I see it. And so they did get us those nuggets. But it was when we were trying to leave, so we took them home in the Uber and ate them when we got home. They were freezing cold, and then we all went to bed.
Here's your route, buddy.
Oh, how wonderful. This should help with my research. You see, research is what a scientist does when...
I know what research is. Get to the point.
No.
Well, see, fossil records show that at one point in the distant past, all plant life just up and disappeared from the surface of our planet. But of course, there are plants here now, which means they managed to come back. I'm trying to figure
Different
out
high school
how
with the
that
same
happened.
initials. Now I want to check. I'm going to check super quick. I don't know what I would look for, but I'm going to check super quick. Who the heck is this? Facebook sucks. It doesn't look like it, but searching my school name 2015 reunion, I found a random post by a random person, not a mutual friend or anything, just being like, yeah, fuck that reunion. You were all horrible. Godspeed. Oh, that's One Piece spoilers. Whoops. Dude, I got a DM from a coworker this week. Asking me, it was so funny actually. I'm so glad he like wasn't in the room with me because I started laughing when he sent it to me. He sent me a message and said, "Yo, is this real?" And he sent me a screenshot of like some One Piece slop from Facebook, that was talking about it wasn't, I mean, it was kind of spoilers. It was definitely about this week's chapter, but it was like the slop that like overhypes and like over exaggerates what happens in this week's chapter. And I was like, LOL, no, it's not real. What are you, it's like, Facebook is a different beast. I do know something that happens this week because of it, though. But I don't really care.
Interesting. If you figure it out, it might make growing crops a lot easier.
Huh? You're way smarter than I thought, buddy. Anyway, here's your payment. Thanks again. Back to work then.
But that coworker has like a I don't mean to be like mean to him. Like everybody experiences things how they experience them, but I can't help but feel like he has a weird relationship with One Piece, where he's clearly like a fan of it. But he seems to be anime only, but asks me to like tell him what's going on in the manga. Like he like asks me to spoil it for him, and I'm like, okay, I could do that, I guess, if you're asking me, but like, why? That's such a like weird way to like absorb the series, but okay. Sis, did it have like fan art? Maybe it's the exact same image. It might have been the same post. Did it have a picture at all? Oh. Mine had hilarious fan art. The fan art that comes with these is always so, like, silly. Who? Oh, the guy on the boat. Let's do that and turn that in, so at least we did something. I feel like we made no progress tonight. I mean, we did the boat thing, but other than that, I really dragged my feet here. Oh, well. I can't believe it's 11:30.
Great. And here's your fee.
Oh, okay.
This is the key to my seasickness medicine. I just know it.
The next morning. Scotchy.
Hey there. Any luck with the new medicine?
Not quite. It seems this time I've somehow concocted a potent sleep prevention drug.
Oh,
With
nuts.
this, you could stay awake for a week straight. I call it Sleepy Go.
Maybe you should quit this sailing thing and become an apothecary.
Yeah, this guy's got a talent.
You know, that's not a bad idea. All right, then. From now on, I'm out of the trading business and opening a pharmacy.
Woohoo!
Right. Well, good luck with that.
Hooray.
That man certainly has a gift for odd medications.
Yep.
Imagine a drug that lets you forego sleep for an entire week. Might you care to try it?
I'll pass, thanks.
Alright, I guess that's it. Weird stream this week, but I enjoyed it. I hope you liked story time with Zebra. I hope you don't think I'm pathetic. Pathetic and mean, and what were the other running trends in these stories? I was complicit in crimes or something. All that good stuff. 2 VODs this week. 2 VODs this time. That's so true. Why'd you remind me that I can't upload Tuesday's VOD either? I immediately felt regretful after talking this week. I was like, I probably shouldn't have talked about that stuff. But whatever. It's fun. I like letting people know. I don't like keeping things in. Kind of like cut out the audio. I mean, I don't actually think it's a problem. What are the odds that it's an actual problem? Very slim. But that's it. I'll be back Sunday for more 100 Line. Very excited to play more of that. We are deep in the weeds in that. I'm obsessed with it these days. Oh, what is this? I've been working on more of the I've been working on more Kyoshka edits. I've been having a blast with those. I finished an extremely ambitious one last night. Easily the best one on the spread. Look forward to that one. But yeah, I don't know. Look forward to all that stuff. Hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you when I see you. Nighty nights.